Okay, a new topic. A topic about worldly issues, or otherwise, actually, more like issues going on in another part of the world. I don't know how many people are aware of this, but right now, the same sort of thing that happened back in Germany in 1938 and 39 is happening in Chechnya in modern times. I'm really surprised at how little I've seen left-wingers or right-wingers or freedom people or people who push for human rights, how little I've seen any of these groups talk about this, actually cover this. And what the situation is this leader in Chechnya, who goes by the name of Ramzan Kadyrov, has decided to round up people who are LGBT and throw them into literal fucking concentration camps. We're not talking about Adolf Hitler here. We're talking about a modern day leader of this country, of a country in this world, doing this. I'm not seeing anybody really speak up about this. I want to know where the fuck the UN is on this. I want to know where Amnesty International is on this. I want to know what the international community is doing about this. Why this is being allowed to happen. We're going on about North Korea and how horrible that man treats his people, and they are correct. That man needs to be deposed out as soon as possible. But this guy here, this individual here, he needs to go if he is in fact rounding people up and throwing them into concentration camps. That is some serious fucking bullshit. Now, I'm going to posit a reason why there is silence in this matter. That country is 98% Muslim. That country is run by Islamic law. Kadyrov looks like, well, actually, Kadyrov is a Muslim. I'm not going and say that all Muslims want to do this, but I think the reason why there is this silence when it comes to what is going on in our modern world right now, in a modern country, I think the silence is because the UN, Amnesty International, a lot of human rights groups are also defending Islam. And are also defending Muslims. And they are stuck in a corner because now a Muslim is doing something absolutely horrendous. This is actually worse than ISIS throwing gays off of buildings, which is absolutely heinous. This is an actual fucking concentration camp. Run that through your head and understand the ramifications of it, of what it actually is. We're not talking about just a group of ruffians like ISIS. We're talking about an actual fucking government doing this to people. Now, the information that I have on this is it was 100 gay individuals. There's also people positing that maybe it was pedophiles they were going after. If they're going after pedophiles, yeah, okay, go after pedophiles. Problem is, concentration camps? I mean, things actually called concentration camps? We're not talking about prison here. We're talking about extermination camps. That's scary as fuck to even have that in our world today. It's something I'm sure ISIS would absolutely love to have. This needs to stop. This needs to be brought to a stop now. The international community needs to pull their heads out of their ass and fucking do something about this and stop this right now. Put pressure on Putin and get this guy out of power. Get this government out of power. Get those concentration camps closed and destroyed. This shit needs to stop. It should not be on this planet. Anywhere on this planet. For anybody. And what is so annoying is, I think, also the silence on the more thinking, rational side is because it's gays. That's it. And that, to me, is disgusting. because it means people have not learned from history. People have not learned from previous events in this world involving the extermination of people. If this were Jews that were getting rounded up, there'd be a hell of a lot more outcry about this than there is. Same with if it was Muslims getting gathered up or Christians getting gathered up. But what I'm getting, and this is what's so sick, what I'm getting is, it's their culture. No, that's not an excuse. That's never a fucking excuse when people are treated in this manner, when this sort of thing happens in this world. And now, our input from Amber.
Yay! Okay, yeah, so I post things like this on Facebook. Mostly people ignore any of my political, social stuff. People will ignore. And
sorry about that.
Okay, so anything that I post like on Facebook or any other like bullshit site that, you know, there's no interaction on, it basically goes empty. I mean, goes without comment. And this is one of the things I posted that didn't get many comments. There was a few people who had a little sad face. I don't know, because I think I remember like first posting it and nothing much was like. I think I posted it from Breitbart and no one commented. And I think I posted again and I got like a sad face or something. But you don't see it that much in the media. And I did see some people talking about it on YouTube. Again, they were outraged. They were upset and sad. They weren't sure if it was legit news though, and that's another thing. People are so confused with what's real and what's not. I would wonder if any of the big, you know, oh, we're so progressive news sites like MSNBC or CNN are covering this. But are they? Usually when they bring it up though, they're trying to tie it with Russia and Putin. They're always saying, oh, an ally of Putin. And that's the thing, like, why is he an ally? Is it because he's a nearby country? Does he actually approve of what they're doing? You know, so they tie it in with Russia, but they never mention he's Islamic, the Islamic ties, or the Islamic ties of the country. And I think once they do mention that, then it gets ignored or gets swept under the rug. The only time they want to mention it is if they can drag down Putin. That's what I've noticed.
Right.
You know, they'll like, I saw people even say, well, you know, oh, it's Trump's fault.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, this whole thing with this Chechnya guy was being blamed on Trump. On Trump! What does Trump have to do with Chechnya?
And he even mentioned how Islam is against gays and how he wanted after the Pulse nightclub.
Mm-hmm.
You know, fucking hell, man. You know, I mean, seriously, people. But anyways, yeah, it's with everything, a lot of things I post, it goes unnoticed. Nobody talks about it. You know, and you start to think, like, this is why I'm getting so mad at progressives now, and that's why they disgusted so many people, is their lack of talking about real issues whenever they have to admit that Islam is not the most rosiest fucking belief system in the goddamn fucking world, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get all silent, and then they overlook. And talk about Amnesty, I don't know what Amnesty International is talking about. I'd have to go to their website to see what they're saying about this. But I know they're on a fucking crusade against Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Like stupid dumb shit that has nothing to do with human rights. They're mad at him. And yet, I don't know, are they even talking about this? That's a good question. I'd have to look. But probably not.
You're right.
So anyways, yeah, it's progressives, quote unquote progressives, are going to ignore this.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're going to try.
I'm seeing that. I'm seeing them
Or they're going to try
ignoring.
to tie it to Russia and Trump
Mm-hmm.
for some goddamn fucking reason. Oh, he was an ally to Putin. Well, is he an ally just the same way Saudi is an ally to the U.S.?
Right. That I'm wondering about that myself.
You know. So anyway, it's really sneaky and it's really fucked up, and it's really fucked up when you have LGBT people not talking about it, and every chance they get, they bow down and say Islam's the greatest thing in the goddamn fucking world, and then you get this shit and they're nowhere to be found.
Well, not all, hashtag, not all LGBT people
Obviously.
are saying that,
Yeah,
but
I know.
yeah, there are certain influential groups that are saying this. The Women's March, having a hijab wearing, Sharia supporting woman giving speeches. What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Sharia? Really? Come on, people. Learn what Sharia is. Because I'm surprised there's a lot of people who don't know what Sharia is and what's in Sharia. There are some good things in Sharia, but a whole lot of bad things. Mm-hmm. Listen to this quote from one of Chechnya's spokespeople, and tell me you don't get chills down your spine when you hear this. Gay people just don't exist in Chechnya. If there were such people in Chechnya, law enforcement wouldn't need to round them up because their relatives would have already sent them somewhere from which there is no returning. Honor killings, people. That's what he's referring to. He's basically saying that the government doesn't need to do anything because the families will kill any gay people. Think about that. That's scary. That's also supporting the idea that some sects of Islam promote that kind of thing. And yes, I'm aware that Christians also practice, practice the same sort of thing, just not to that scale, not about honor killings. And if they do, please post it in the comments. Post a link to it so that I can gripe about that too. When it comes to what's going on in Chechnya, my understanding is that Chechnyans and the Russians were fighting for a while, and now I guess this Kadyrov guy is in the back pocket of Putin. Well, if that's the case, Putin needs to start bringing the hammer down. But I understand that Putin is also an asshole when it comes to LGBT people in Russia. And I'm also wondering, again, where's the international community? Because that's against human rights. That's, you know, and don't give me this, oh, it's their culture. Fuck that shit. I am so tired of being told, because people can do horrible, heinous things because it's their culture. No, that excuse is just horrible. So, thank you for listening, and look up, learn some information about this guy, and learn about what's going on in Chechnya, because it's something that shouldn't be happening in this world. I kind of believe in the spirit realm and that sort of thing, and I cannot believe that having something like this happening, or having wars, or having factory farms where animals are tortured and that sort of stuff, does any good for our spiritual well-being. On a grand scale. That might sound a little too metaphysical to you, but that's how I think about it. Alright, thank you.